Okay, welcome to our team chat. It is November 9th, 2015, and we have some awesome things we're going to be talking about tonight and really focusing on ending the year strong and, just knowing how to take your business to the next level and where that kind of starts and how you can kickstart that. But before I dive into my kind of discussion topics that I have, I wanted to go over some things that are coming up with the team. So of course, this is the Fall Classic month, and we do have some challenge packs on sale, and they're the 21-day fix and the Fix Extreme plus the Kickstart packages, as well as Body Beast is still on sale. It's not listed as a November promotion, but it's still listed at $140. I just sold one today. So Body Beast is still on sale, and then Size as well is on sale, and all of those are at $140. The next thing we have coming up as far as training is something I'm really excited about. It's called Emerald City, and it's going to be a push group to Emerald. It's going to be 2 weeks long, and it's starting the Monday after Thanksgiving. So November 30th is going to be the first day. And I really, really encourage all of you to who are pushing, even if you're already an Emerald coach, but you're pushing for Diamond. As you know, Diamond is just duplicating Emerald over and over and over again. So if you get yourself into an Emerald training, you never know what kind of tips and stuff that might resonate with you that you haven't heard in that way yet before, because maybe it's from a different person. That's really going to resonate with you and is going to help you push your business forward. So just because it's called an Emerald group, don't limit yourself. The other thing I wanted to talk about starting in the team is just through the end of the year, starting a WHAM club. So Work at Home Mom Club. I know we have a lot of people on the team who that's really what your goal is to be able to stay at home with your kids. Or maybe you're like me and you don't have kids yet, but that's your goal, is when you do have kids, you want to be at home with them. And so I was thinking it would be really cool to get some of you guys together get you guys together as success partners. And so that we can, really push through the end of the year and get people hooked up together who have the same goal, because I find that with myself and the success partners that I've had in the past we've really clicked, it's because we had something in common that we were working toward. And so we could hold each other accountable to that goal. So I wanted to start this WHAM club, or Work at Home Mom Club, and really push through the end of the year, the last 2 months, for this goal to be a stay-at-home mom with your kids and run your business from your home and have the freedom to do that, the financial freedom to do that. Because as we all know, you got to provide a roof over your head, right? There's necessities that we have to provide for. So I want to start success partners. And what I will be doing is partnering people up based on their goals and what you want to accomplish by the end of the year, as well as where you're at currently in your business, so that we get some people who are kind of on the same playing field that can really push each other. So if you would like to be in the WHAM club with all the cool kids, comment below the recording when I post the recording, and just let us know that you want to be in it. And what I'm going to do is probably send you a questionnaire via email about your goals and where you're at now. And then I'll be partnering people up. All right. And it's, again, this is just through January 1st. So I don't think this will happen, but say you got partnered with somebody that you don't really click with, it's not a forever thing. Okay. So don't let fear of whatever you fear hold you back. Okay. Having a success partner is a really good thing. And I know there's other people on our team who currently have a success partner that they're working with. And it's been a really good thing for them. And so I know I'm going to get some support on this here. But having a success partner really makes a difference. Okay, so Our November theme, and I know I've waited now till the second week of the month to kind of announce my theme for the month. I don't always do a theme for a month, right? But this month, something really stood out to me. And we're going to be talking about it later too in the call when I get onto my topics I wanted to talk about today. But talking about, what makes a person successful and how to overcome discouragement and how to avoid discouragement with your business or with fitness or with anything in life. If there's something you've taken on as a challenge, you're going to be challenged, like surprise, right? Some challenge required if you're going to take on a challenge. Otherwise, it's not a challenge. So if you've been going through maybe some hard times in your business, something I want to encourage you to do is something that I encourage my challenge group participants to do based on how I went through P90X and how I got my transformation. To me, the most important thing was finishing what I started. And again, we're going to be talking about this a lot tonight. But, taking on a challenge and proving to myself that I could start day 1 and I could end day 90, having put in 100%. That was the win for me. It wasn't so much about the weight. Now, the cool thing about this is that when you commit to a system that's proven like P90X or like coaching or like the power of 3 or like, insert your own, what you're thinking right now. But when you plug yourself into a system that's proven that works and you give it 100% and you work the system, you're going to get the results. So, but it's important sometimes because, like, let's talk about fitness, for instance. When I'm helping people in my challenge groups, I try to really get them not to focus on the pounds. Like, let's not talk about, like, of course we want to set a goal. Like, I want to know too for them, like, how much do you want to lose? Okay, let's say it's 20 pounds. But when we're going through the 21-day fix, I don't want you thinking every single day about the 20 pounds you want to lose. And I don't want you committing to losing 20 pounds. I want you to commit to the program. And I want you to commit to drinking Shakeology every day and to using your containers and not giving up on yourself and committing to the system that's in place. Because I know as the coach that when they commit to the system, they're going to get the results. And committing to the system and making that your win, being able to go down your checklist at the end of the day and go, yes, I worked out. Yes, I used my containers. Yes, I drank my Shakeology. My day on this was an awesome day. I did great. That's the win. Because tomorrow you might hop on the scale and it might be up a pound. And anyone who's been through a weight loss transformation knows that this happens. Like, the scale doesn't always cooperate, right? Or sometimes we'll plateau and we reach a certain weight and then it's like 3 weeks later and I'm still at the same weight. And if you're committed to only losing the weight, you're going to be discouraged by that. It's just human nature. But if you're looking at it as, no, I'm committing to this program, I'm committing to this system, the discouragement is much easier to handle because the win is in the action, not in the ultimate goal or the ultimate result. And when you commit to that system, again, you will reach the goal. And it's the same with coaching. When we commit to the vital behaviors and when we commit to working our power of 3 doc or whatever, tracker that you're committed to using, when you commit to that, and at the end of the day, you can look at that document and you can say, you know what? Boom, I did it. It's all done. I'm done. Check it off. There's a psychological effect that happens where you feel reward and you feel fulfillment in that activity and you feel like you got a win because you did. And when you do that day in and day out, you will see the results in your business as far as signing up coaches and getting Success Club and all of that stuff. All right. So that was the long way around telling you what my theme is for November. I'm going to put the no in November. So my theme for this month for myself and what I'm inviting you all to join me on is going for the no, all right? And what I mean by that is focusing on how many people I'm inviting and knowing that for every no that I hear, it's bringing me that much closer to my next yes, all right? And so when you look at it that way, the no's aren't that big of a deal because we know that the no is going to happen, right? In order to get to a yes, there are so many no's that I have to go through. And if I'm committed to the no, and I'm committed to the daily activity that's going to get me out there and inviting, I'm going to get the yeses. So the personal development book that I'm going to be reading this month is Go for No. And I'm going to be posting after this call, when I post the recording, I'm going to post I made up a cute little picture. But go for no, all right? That's the theme. So I want to just remind everybody, if you're struggling, maybe you feel like, I'm working my business, but nothing's happening, or I'm not seeing the results I want you to do, when we get off this call, just take 5 minutes and do a gut check and check your vitals. Am I inviting people? Am I listening to personal development? Am I feeding my mind? Am I working my own product and my own program? And am I being a result and a product of that program so that I can show people that it does work? Check your vitals. If you feel like you're struggling, or you feel like, this isn't going the way you want it to go, or maybe this month is really tough, or maybe last month was terrible, like we all have those months, and it's important not to get discouraged, but to try to figure out, okay, what did I do last month that got me the result that I'm not super thrilled with, that I can change for next month? And when you're using the Power of 3 document, you're going to be tracking your activities. So it makes it really easy to look back and say, okay, here's where I messed up. Here's where I didn't do everything I'm supposed to do. This is why, right? So just check your vitals. And make sure you're tracking. And I wanted to point this out. I don't think she's on the call, but our newest team member, Trish, signed up today. She's somebody I met a few weeks back, and I invited her, and I didn't get a response back. But she was on my list as being interested because she'd commented on one of my posts on my fitness page about coaching. And so it was like a week later, I was going back through my Power of 3 tracker, and I saw, oh, Trish, I need to check back in with Trish. All right, because let's face it, we all have a lot of people we're talking to. You're not going to remember everyone. And if you're not tracking and you're not using that tracker or using some form of tracking, people are going to get by you, and you're going to drop the ball. And then they're not going to sign up with you. They're going to sign up with somebody else, okay? So make sure that you're following up with people. And just because somebody maybe doesn't jump on it right at the first moment you talk to them about it, don't let that discourage you, because it really doesn't mean anything. They could have just lost your message in their inbox. It could have gotten buried. Who knows, right? So don't let those types of things discourage you. All right, so I want to get into the meat of what I wanted to talk about. And I have like all these notes. My brain the last few days has been going into overdrive, and I have a lot of notes, and I'm hoping that it all comes together, and I hope that it's inspiring to you. And I hope that you have kind of that, a moment, an aha moment or something. I hope it speaks to you. I'm hoping I can kind of bring it all together, because my brain's been like I said, there's hamsters running in my brain right now. I'm so excited about where I see our team going, and it's really awesome. Okay, so I wanted to tell you guys a secret about me that I think most people, if they don't know me from way back, or maybe you just know me from Facebook, you probably are going to be surprised to hear this. But if you look at my past record of all the things that I've done in my life, you'll see a record of someone who is a great starter. I get amazing ideas, and I am just I build on it until it's this huge thing, and I'm gung-ho, and I last for a week. And then I get bored, or something else, a better idea comes along, and before you know it, I'm off chasing that. And I have the attention span of, like a fly, when I really wish that I was like an ant and very focused, or a bee, right? But no, this is me flitting around all over the place. And so when I look back at my past history of things that I've started and never finished, the list is quite long. So chronic quitter like me, which is really what it is. Somebody who doesn't stick with things, someone who doesn't follow through with things. And I remember when I was 15 years old, something that stands out in my mind so vividly, and it's something that has, I'm not going to say haunted, but it's something that has really stuck with me over the last 20 plus years. Can't believe I can say that. But yeah, like something, it's stuck with me is my pastor one day, we were talking and I don't remember what the conversation was about. All I remember is what he said. And he told me that he saw in me someone who didn't follow through, someone who started things and then didn't follow through. And somebody listening to this right now might think like, oh, that's the power of suggestion. And then look at you the rest of your life, you know, you're not following through with things. I don't think that's what it was. I think he did see that in me. He saw it and he was trying to help me and he was trying to point it out to me. And I'm so thankful that he did, because it is something that's really stuck with me. Not saying that after that I stuck with everything and I followed it through to a T, because I did not. But it's been in the forefront of my mind rather than something that I could just like, you know, steamroll over like I do a lot of things in my life. It's something that's stuck with me. And so when I look at my, you know, the things that I haven't accomplished because I quit, the list is huge. The things that I have accomplished because I stuck with it is very short, not very long, but every single one of those things has turned into something absolutely amazing. All right. From the fact that I started court reporting school and I stuck with it and I was able to, you know, go the full 2.5 years, go to the state licensing board, get my license, get my job that I currently have. I just got a letter in the mail. I've been there for 10 years. I've stuck with that, and what it's provided me has been absolutely wonderful, like a great income that a lot of people would love to have, and a lot of security, financial security in my life. The other things that I stuck with is my marriage. Even though there's been a lot of times in the last 8 years that, especially in the beginning, that I wondered, like, did I make the right decision doing this? You know, like there was a period of time for about 2 years that I thought that. I wondered that, like, did I make the right decision? For 2 years, you guys, like that, the fact that I stuck through the hard times in my marriage, and the fact that I'm here now 8 years later and I can look back at it and go, oh my God, I am so thankful that I didn't bail out and I didn't follow that gut instinct to quit and run, cut my losses and run. But I stuck with it. And now I'm blessed with this awesome guy that, you know, like we have grown so close, and I literally cannot imagine my life without him. Like, the thought of that is terrifying to me because I love him so much. And it's a love that's deeper than it was when we got married. It's just grown over time. And every hard time we go through, every trial we go through, every situation we go through just makes it even deeper. And I feel really sorry for people who cut and run on their marriage, right? Because I know when you stick with it, and I think most people who've been married for a long time, of course, it has to be a good person, right? Like, but you know, people who stick with it, like, I think they would all agree with me that it just gets deeper. So I'm so thankful that I didn't give up on my marriage. Another thing that I stuck with was P90X. That happened at a time in my life when I was so fed up with where I was, like it was desperation that got me through that. But I committed to it. And in the end, I proved to myself that I could take on something that was challenging and I could crush it. And that proof, like I was saying earlier, the fact that I stuck with it and the fact that I didn't give up on myself, that was the win. It wasn't the fact that I lost all the weight. When I think about what I was able to accomplish, as far as my weight loss, that's great. But what I was able to accomplish inside was so much bigger. And it's because I didn't quit. I started it. And I finished and I saw it through. And if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be where I am right now as a coach, which is another thing that I started and I've stuck with. And another thing that you guys know, because I say it all the time, like, I am so glad that even through the hard times since I've been a coach, which have been quite a few hard times, times when I wondered, like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, why am I, taking this on? Like, why am I struggling for this? Why am I working for this? And now where I'm at, looking back on it, I'm like, God, thank you so much that I did not quit on myself. Thank you so much that I didn't give up, that I didn't take that quitter mentality. And I feel like, looking back on all of these things that, you accomplish, and it's like, so I think I did a video a few weeks ago in our team page, and I basically told you guys that every action you take either positively reinforces your self-beliefs or negatively reinforces your self-beliefs. And every win that you have, you do that Power of 3 tracker and you do a stellar day and you filled out all those spaces and you look at it, you know what it tells you? I can do this, right? I can do this. And now looking at myself where I'm at with my coaching business, it's that way. I feel like, like I stuck it out. I didn't quit. I didn't give up on myself. And I'm so, so glad that I did, because it's provided this amazing freedom, the financial freedom to be able to quit my job, which is something I never thought I'd ever be able to do. But looking at that and like looking at some other, I jotted some names down of people that I wanted to mention. Mindy Winder. She's an amazing coach. For people who maybe you don't know who she is, when she started coaching, she was making $10 an hour. She was living on top ramen noodles that her sister bought her because she didn't have enough money to buy food for her family. When she started coaching, she was hungry, literally. All right. Like, talk about incentive, right? Not everybody would respond that way, though. There's a lot of people who wouldn't. There's a lot of people who would go out and throw up their hands and go, I'm just going to be poor the rest of my life. I've run into these people. I know they're out there. Trust me. People who refuse to help themselves because they refuse to put the effort in. They don't believe in themselves, right? But Mindy Winder was just crazy enough to believe that she could do something to change her future. And she grabbed this opportunity, and now look at her. She's making $20,000 plus a week, all right? Going from $10 an hour to $20,000 plus a week. Hello, what an amazing, I guarantee you, if you asked her, she'd be thankful she didn't quit, right? Brigitte Linford. If you watch her coach success story in the back office, you'll see like she was digging through her couch cushions for change. All right. She was like going through her cupboards for unopened items from Walmart so she could take them back and get the money so that she could go buy groceries. We're talking about people that were hungry. All right. Lindsay Matway, $100,000, $200,000 plus in medical bills from her daughter who had been hospitalized. She was bankrupt. She was hungry. And then I look at myself. And here I am in this beautiful house. I'm talking to you from a granite countertop. I'm not hungry. I don't have a problem putting food in my refrigerator. I'm just being honest with you. I don't have that same level of pressure on me to perform. And so I think probably most of you are more on my side than the other, right? We're comfortable because we don't really have that pressing need. And so for us, what's required to push us beyond the comfort zone, we have to create our own uncomfort zone, right? Like we have to create it because it's not being created for us. And it's so easy when you're comfortable to say, oh, my Power of 3 tracker is not done, but my friends want to go out to pizza. And so I think I'm going to go out to pizza because I'm comfortable, right? That's comfort talking. Comfort will do that to you. And so for me, and for the rest of you who may be like me, we have to create our own uncomfort zone, all right? And we have to figure out what about our life we're not okay with. Just like me when I started P90X. Was I 300 pounds? No. Sometimes I show people my before and after picture, and I've literally, it doesn't happen super often, but I've had people tell me like, you don't look bad. Well, I wasn't 300 pounds, you guys, but I was not happy with where I was. I was not happy. All right. And for some people, that's 300 pounds. For some people, it's 100. For some people, whatever it is, that where you get to that point in your life where you go, okay, this isn't okay. I've gone as far down this road as I'm willing to go. It's time to make a change. And that's what I want to talk about tonight, is figuring out for you what it is about your life, as comfortable as it may be, is not okay for you. What you want to make you uncomfortable enough to push for more. All right. And it requires digging deep. It really does. It requires getting real with yourself, owning your situation, not putting it off. All right. And so, like, for me, I'm thinking credit card debt. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of us, like, we're comfortable, we make good money, but we want an extra we can't afford, bump it over onto a credit card, right? That's what I did. I got myself into $55,000 of debt. I make a very good income. That there was no excuse for that. No excuse at all for that. It was wasteful and it was shameful. And, but think about those things in your life, that just be honest, be real, and own it. What do you want to change? And allow that to push you. I created this document, and this is really what has, if you've been watching my videos the last week or so in our team page, you'll notice there's a definite theme to them, which is the same theme, kind of along the same lines. But I created this document, and I shared it with you guys. I don't know if you can see this, probably not, but it's that thermometer that I made. I posted it on our team page. And I want to tell you what has started this fire in me in this last week. I was already motivated to finish the year strong, but I sat down with this because I made this for you. I made it for you, but I knew as a leader, I can't just tell you guys to do things I don't do myself, okay? And so I sat down and I took the time to really think about what I wanted most with my earnings. What's going to make me push? You know, what does this money mean to me? Because I have a lot of money, abundance of money, okay? I'm not bragging, but I do. I'm not hurting. I'm not hungry, all right? Like, literally. So what does the money mean to me? It has to mean more than just, it's not my escape from top ramen noodles every night, right? So it has to mean something. What does the income that Beachbody provides you mean to you? What do those dollars translate to? You know what I'm saying? Is it, your car is run down and you need a new car really bad, but you can't afford it? Is it braces for your kids? Is it a college fund so that when they graduate, they can go to college and go to a good school and not have to get on financial aid? Whatever it is to you. And so I sat down because I wanted to be a good leader and I wanted to do what I'm telling you to do. And I sat down with this one day, and it took me about half an hour, 45 minutes to fill this out. But the items on this list are very important to me. They're very, very important to me. They represent a lot of things in my life that I want that I can't afford right now. All right. So yeah, I make good money. We put a roof over our heads and all of that. But these things I can't afford. I can't afford them. All right. And when I sat down and I filled it out, I went over it with whiteout. You'll see whiteout marks. I went over it a few times, and I really made it personal to me and things that I care about. And it really affected me big time. To see at the top that my top goal here is to retire Brandon, that's a big deal, because that means that our family would be together. We have so much fun together. I love him so much. We have a blast together, and we've spent a lot of time together due to my being off work on workers' comp and different times in our lives. But I love him. I want to be with him all the time. This is important to me. It means a lot. And I'm gonna tell you this. It means more to me than retiring myself, which I know sounds really weird, but You know, all this time I've been working to retire myself, but putting his name down here meant it was a big deal. Other thing that is a big deal to me is donating to my dad's Africa Mission Fund. That's something that my dad made it was his pet baby. Like, it really was. And being able to carry the legacy on for him because he's not here anymore, that means a lot to me. That means a heck of a lot to me. And that's something that pushes me. And I've already been able to donate to the fund, but I just want to keep giving more. And that's something that pushes me. Being able to take you guys on a team retreat and go do something fun and team building and have a weekend for my coaches that are rocking their businesses. That's something that I've wanted for, gosh, it feels like from day one, I've wanted to do something like that. And these are all things I can't afford right now. Okay, I can't, but I'm going to. So I want to challenge you, if you haven't yet, take the time and don't just put any old little thing in there. Make it personal. It's not going to work if it's not personal. If it doesn't make you cry, it's not going to work, right? It's not going to work in the way it should. Make it personal. Make it something that matters to you. And so, moving along here, sorry. So when you're thinking about like this stuff, like what makes you hungry? What makes you want more? What like, you know, going through this list of mine, like what makes you, what is something you can't afford that you want, that you're hungry for? You know, it's not something you can just buy on credit, right? Something that means something to you. What makes you hungry? I've been just talking and not following my notes, so I'm lost here. Hold on one second. All right, so let's move on to how to follow through, okay? And developing that overcomer mindset, or the mindset that is what will push you, right? Having that mindset, your attitude in the right place and your mindset in the right place, that will make you work and will make you want to push for this. Number one, it starts with believing in yourself. And it's interesting, I don't know if you guys watched the video I posted today, but Tony Robbins had this like a piece of paper with 4 boxes on it. And it's about beliefs and how your belief it directly affects your actions, right? If you believe in something, if you believe in yourself, your actions are going to follow. Your actions are directly affecting your results. And your results directly tie back to your beliefs. And it's like I was saying earlier, and I said a few weeks ago on that video, every action that you take either positively reinforces or negatively reinforces. So if I'm doing, you know, if my belief system is jacked up and I don't believe in myself and I don't believe that I can do this, guess what's going to happen? My actions are going to be lackluster. They're going to suck. I'm going to start P90X. If I don't believe in it and I don't believe in myself, I'm going to start P90X and I'm going to be like, well, we'll see this time if I follow through. If I start with that kind of attitude, what kind of results do you think I'm going to get? Zip. It's not going to happen, right? If you start into your coaching journey with that kind of attitude, yeah, well, you know, some people are successful at this, but, you know, we'll see. I don't know. Like, I have XYZ reasons why I probably am not going to succeed at it. You're not going to do very well. And I've had coaches start this way, you guys, like, and I see it in them, like, and it's like, you have to put your best foot forward. You can't just say, I tried it. You can knock down a gazillion doors and invite people to join you. But if you're inviting them with that attitude, nobody's going to want to join you. It's just the bottom line. Nobody's going to want to join you. They're not going to want to be a part of what you have to offer. And then what happens? Nobody wants to join me. Oh, see, I knew it. I suck. Nobody wants to be a part of what I have to offer. And it all directly ties back to why. Because I don't believe in myself and I didn't start in the right mindset or the right attitude. So make sure that your actions, your belief system is in the right place. So how do we change our beliefs? Because I'm sure you're thinking like, well, that's great, but what happens if you don't believe in yourself, right? Trust me, action. Your actions are so important, all right? And for every positive thing that you follow through with, just like with the negative ones that you're reinforcing that negative belief in yourself, for everything that you do and you follow through and you do it, you're reinforcing the positive. And so it really comes back down to like committing to the system. Like I said at the very beginning of this chat, commit to the system of what you're, plugged into. Commit to that. Commit to it. Commit to the power of 3. And you know what? Maybe for you, it's not every day. Maybe for you, it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday that I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work this tracker. And I'm going to fill out all these columns on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All right? Bite off a chunk that you can chew and then do it. And when you do it, you're going to reinforce that positive belief in yourself that, look, I filled in those boxes. I can do this. When I'm working out and I finish my workout and at the end of the day, I look and I used my containers, I stayed on track, I didn't screw up with my diet, I did my workout, I kept a positive attitude throughout the day. When now I'm thinking, geez, tomorrow is just going to be like today. I can do this, right? So your actions directly affect all of this, your belief in yourself. The next thing and I didn't write these in any particular order, but the next one that I feel is really important is visualizing where you want to go. Visualization, practice visualizing. Take 5 or 10 minutes a day and just when you're in bed, maybe before you go to sleep, close your eyes and visualize what you want to see happen the most in your life. Visualize retiring your husband. Visualize giving that money to that favorite charity that you really want to support, cancer research, whatever it is that is close to your heart. Visualize writing the check and how that's going to feel. Visualize walking across the stage at Summit as a Star Diamond coach and hearing the cheering and the crowds and all the energy and the excitement. How is that going to feel? Close your eyes and visualize these things. Visualize walking into your office, your boss's office, and handing in your resignation. Do you know how many times I have visualized this? Like exactly what I'm going to say. I'm telling you, I visualize this a lot, all right? But do that. What we visualize happens, okay? Let's see. Keep a running list of your successes. So if you take on a challenge that you know is going to be difficult for you and you crush it, just keep a list. Write it down. Don't put it in your head. It doesn't work. It's not the same. Keep a running list, a written list. Post that where you're going to see it. Maybe it's where you sit at your computer to work your Beachbody business. Have that list there where you can see, oh, look, yes, when you're doubting yourself, oh, but wait, look, these are the things I've accomplished since I've been a coach. I've accomplished this many things since I've been a coach. I can do this. Keep a running list. Practice positive self-talk. So if you have a negative Nelly residing up here in your head, the quickest way to kick her out, kick her to the curb, is by countering all those things that you're saying to yourself. And if you catch, and boy, this is something that was hard for me, okay? Because when you really start paying attention to how you talk to yourself, you're going to be really surprised at the things you hear. You're going to be really surprised at the things that you hear coming from your own head, as if we don't have enough to deal with, right? Like our biggest enemy is ourself. But most of it is subliminal, and you don't even realize what you're saying to yourself. And if you've read the book, You're a Badass, she spends a whole lot of time talking about this. But it's very true. Like you don't realize until you start really focusing and intentionally listening to your inner voice. But for every negative thing that you say, immediately counter it with a positive. immediately counter it with a positive. One of the national wake-up calls recently, I can't remember now who it was, Tara Carr, I think, who said that when she first started coaching, she had like sticky notes. And for every negative thing, she'd write down a positive and she'd put it on the walls of her house. And her husband was in the military. When he got home from his tour in Afghanistan, he was like, what is going on? It's like Fruit Loops threw up all over the walls, right? Because she had so many negative things she was countering and putting on her wall. No, that's not, I refuse to buy into that. I refuse to buy into that negative comment. And I know it sounds silly, and you might feel silly doing it, but it works. It really does work. So speak the things that you want. This one I think is very important. Speak the things that you want the most as if it's already happened. And there is Bible for that. If you're a Christian, there is Bible for that. I remember when I was a kid, my mom always saying, like, you'd say something, she'd be like, don't speak that on me. Don't speak that on me. You say something negative, don't speak that on me. There's Bible for that, right? Speak the things that you want as though they've already happened. I'm already a Star Diamond coach. I already have a team of amazing coaches who are making a difference in people's lives all over the world, all right? I've already retired Brandon. He's already home. Speak the things that you want as if they've already happened. I've already donated a ton of money to my dad's fund. I've already visited Africa and helped lay the foundation for a building in one of those missions. I speak these things as though they've already happened. Set, I don't know what number I'm at, like I said, I didn't number these, but set daily activities or daily goals that you know that you can do. It might take some focus, and it might take some eating that frog, right? Like prioritizing your time management, but things that you know that you can do, and then commit to it and follow through with it, whether you feel like it or not. Set those goals, eat them immediately, first thing in the day. Reinforce the belief that you can do this, those positive affirmation that, hey, look, I set this goal, I crushed it. Win, all right? I'm proving to myself, I'm building the belief in myself that I can do this. I think that's what's so great about like a checklist, having a daily checklist of things you can check off. It gives you that fulfillment. Feed your mind with positive things. This goes back to personal development. It's so important to feed your mind with positive things. There's so much negativity in the world. Like if you get on Facebook and you look over in the trending on your computer, on the right-hand side, it has this whole trending list of things that are trending. I'm telling you guys, like other than the cow that somebody let on their couch, everything is negative right now, right? Everything is negative. Like the cow is the one little cute little thing. Like everything's negative. There's shootings, there's killings, there's people abusing their kids. Tune all of those things out. I used to listen on my way to work every day to talk radio. I did it for years. And it wasn't until I stopped listening to talk radio on my way to work that I realized how negatively that was affecting me. Hearing the negative rhetoric that they just spew all the time. All right. It doesn't do much for you positive at all. It might keep you in the know about politics, but let's face it, the politics really suck right now. All right. So I just tuned it out. I stopped. I tuned it out. Now I listen to my personal development in the car, and it's made an amazing difference in my life. Remove, kind of along these same lines, remove negative people from your life. You have people, let's get real. I don't care if it's Aunt Susie. She's getting her butt hid if she's spewing negative stuff all over Facebook because I don't want to see it. There is a really great function on Facebook called hide. Use it. Remove those negative people from your newsfeed. It's going to make an amazing difference in your life. You don't need that. You don't need that. Like protect your positive mindset. Protect your positive attitude with a fortress. Build a fortress around that baby because it's very important. It's so important that you stay positive. And then the last one I wanted to mention is to find your why. And that kind of goes back to this. This is my why. This is why I'm working so hard, right? Like There has to be a reason. For those of us who aren't literally hungry, you have to have a reason that's enough, that's going to make you push and that's going to make you work. And you have to have that so clearly identified in your mind that you know exactly what it is that's pushing you. And without that, it's going to be really hard to not give in to temptation to procrastinate and to not give in to temptation to quit on yourself. I know this from experience. Like, it's so easy to let things get in the way, especially if you're working full time and you've got kids and a family you're trying to take care of, and you're trying to build this business at the same time. It's not easy. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy. I hope, if you're my personally sponsored coach, I've never promised anybody it would be easy. I hope nobody promised you it was going to be easy. It's not. It's really not. Most of us, we have full-time lives, all right? And we're fitting this in. But when you know that you can accomplish this, you can accomplish this list of goals and this why that you have, it's worth the sacrifice, and it's worth the dedication, and it's worth putting other things off for a temporary time so that you can spend the quality time you need to grow your business, so that later down the road, you have more time to invest, all right? This isn't a forever thing, right? Like, I know I work full time, but that's not a forever thing. I'm investing the hours of my day into this that come out of my personal time because I know it's not forever. I'm working toward a goal, and that goal is going to provide me so much time freedom. It's going to be crazy. I'm not going to know what to do with myself. You guys are probably going to get so annoyed with all the videos I post. You probably already do, but I don't know. I'm not going to know what to do with myself. All right. It's going to be insane. So, but I just want you to think about that. Like, why are you sacrificing the time? Why are you putting the time into it? All right. So I think I've run out of things to say, and I'm going to open up. I'm going to unmute everyone if I can figure out how to do that. Okay. Okay. I've unmuted all of you beautiful people. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have anything you want to add? Anybody struggling with something? A thought? Anything? This is the time where everybody goes, oh.
You know what, Mary? I have a question.
Sure.
One of the big things that I've noticed, like whenever I'm, working with different people to improve their life, I don't want to say to sell them something because I really don't feel like that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm working with them to get on the plan, whether it be the 21-day fix or whatever. And they're like motivated, I'm pumped, they're pumped about it. And all of a sudden, they never actually purchase it. And they're like, yeah, I want to. And I've noticed this with like a couple of people, and I don't want to hound them. How do you go about reminding them without making them feel like you're hounding them or like you're trying to sell them something?
Pressure.
Just keep on asking.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. And the truth is that, for me at least, I'll follow up with someone 3 times. After the 3rd time and they don't do anything with it, I just leave them alone, because I figure they're one of those people that don't know how to say no. Because there are people out there like that. They never intended to purchase. They just did it because they thought that's what you wanted to hear, and they can't say no. So, or maybe, they really want to, but they can't afford it, and they're ashamed to say that. They're embarrassed to say they can't afford something. I mean, you never know what's going through someone's mind. We have a great video on how to follow up with people. I'm pretty sure it's I favorited it. It's called The Follow-Up. I don't remember the name of the girl, but I favorited it on YouTube. So I'll find that and I'll post it in our team page for you. But I just generally, like, when I'm initially talking to someone, I try my best to get to their goals, right? So it's not enough just to know that they want to lose weight. That's not the real emotional reason why they want to join or they want the 21-day fix or they're even thinking about it. The real emotional reason is that they can't look at pictures of themselves. They delete the pictures off Facebook that they're tagged in because they're embarrassed of themselves, or they can't walk up a flight of stairs without getting out of breath, or they can't fit their wedding ring anymore. I mean, seriously, like digging into the why they want to lose weight and not just accepting at face value. Everybody wants to lose weight, right? Like that's not why we're talking. That's the what, but we want to know the why. Like why now? Why this? What is it about your lifestyle, your activity level? You know, what it is about like where you're at now that's going to change when you lose the 30 pounds? How are you going to feel differently about yourself? How is that going to change? You know, and I ask those types of questions. If you can get people, some people just don't, but if you can get people to really dig into that, to be honest with themselves, your sell is going to be a lot easier.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, that's just like the one thing, because I've had a couple, like I had one lady, you know, I even went out and met her for dinner or whatever, and we actually talked about everything, and she was like, and I know that she really does want to do it. And even financially, I mean, she's pretty financially like well off. But I would remind her, hey, I sent that email to you. Do you need me to resend it? And it just like never happened. And I thought, I don't want to hound her. So I did the same kind of thing where I just thought, well, I reminded her like, actually, she was going to pay the full 160. So whenever October came and the 21-day fix was on sale, I was like, hey, I'm glad you waited because now it's only 140. And she was like, oh, that's awesome. Resend it to me because I don't know what I did with the email. And I was like, okay. And then she never did it. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to hound her.
She might just be one of those people that's super busy and gets distracted. You know what I mean? Like, and if you know her well enough, sounds like you do, you could offer to like, hey, let's meet up and I'll help you get signed up. Like
that's a good idea. That might be the problem too.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes people, I mean, I had a customer, for instance, just recently who I've talked to on and off for like 2 years, and she'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy, and then she'd never buy. Yeah, I'm gonna buy, and she'd never buy. And then this last time when she contacted me about a challenge group I had promoted, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, well, we'll see where this goes, right? Like, and I kind of had that attitude, like, shame on me, but I did. And the next day I looked in my back office and she had purchased it. And she even told me, she's like, you're probably shocked that I actually did it, huh? Like, actually, yeah, I am really shocked.
That's funny.
So, I mean, you never know, like, what it is that's holding somebody back. Like, you don't know. All you can do is the best you can to dig in, really try to get them connected, get them transition from the what they want to, because in their mind, it's like, oh, if I lose 25 pounds, everything's going to be okay in my life. Well, not really. Okay. Like, why did you gain that weight? You know what I mean? Like, what got you there in the first place? And for all of us on this call, I'm sure you can think back to when you first decided, you know, if you've had a weight loss transformation, you can think back to when you decided, you know, I'm done with this. This is not okay. I'm changing it. And remember what it was. Like, there was something in your life that got you there. You know what I mean? Like, and it's different for all of us. But you know, you don't just gain 50 pounds just because. It just doesn't happen like that. It just doesn't happen like that. There was something going on internally, and it is that way for everybody. So if you can get them to plug into that, it'll help a lot. And you know what? It doesn't just help close a sale. It helps them. Getting them to figure out how they got there is going to help them be more successful in not only losing the weight, but keeping it off. Because if you've got internal stuff going on, like emotional stuff going on, which is why you gained weight, you might commit, you know? Like, I'm pretty motivating in my groups. Maybe I'm good enough to get you to commit for 21 days and you lose 15 pounds. But what happens after that? If you haven't healed the emotional side of it, you know, chances are you're going to gain it right back.
Okay. That's cool. I think that most people who really, really want to do it, I mean, they'll do it right away, but yeah, there's those few people who need kind of like the nudge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I've been trying to kind of like encourage them, and it's kind of hard to, because I don't want to invest so much time that I miss out on other people who really want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just finding a balance, I think, for me.
Yeah, and if you know, if you have the Power of 3 tracker and you're tracking everyone, it makes it much faster to follow up. Like on your follow-up section, you just go back the week before and look at the people you connected with or the people you invited, and then bam, send them a message. It makes it a lot faster. But definitely never, ever let pampering someone or trying to lead a goat to water that doesn't want to drink. That's very time consuming. It is so time consuming. I've been there. And you're spending your time on something that's not productive. That could be better spent meeting new people, you know, reaching out into groups and going on Pinterest and sending messages to people you haven't talked to yet. You know what I mean? Like growing your network, I think, is a better use of your time than trying to cajole someone along that isn't really ready. And if you're seeing a product of the product on Facebook consistently, you're really sharing your own journey. There's a lot of people who are like that are going to come your way. They're going to be like, okay, I know, like I told you I was going to buy 3 times and I didn't. That was a year ago and I was in a really bad place, but now I'm in a much better place and I'm ready to do this. Let's do it. And they're going to do it. But, you know, that only happens if you've been consistent. And I have people, now I've been doing this 3 years. I have people coming that I've known my whole life. And then it's like sending me a message just last month. Okay, I'm ready to do it. It took them 3 years of seeing me be consistent, you know? So a no does not mean no. It just means not right now. And if you look at it like that, like I was saying, go for the no. You know, and no is not a bad thing. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, all the people that I think the people I've been able to, you know, help out and sell to are all people I didn't think would buy.
And I'll tell you that your coaches that you sign up are going to be the people you least expected too. It's just the way it works. The ones you think, oh, they're going to be a rock star, and they're like, where'd they go? Like they're gone, you know. And it's the little one thought, well, we'll see. That just takes it and runs with it. Like I've learned to not prejudge people. I really have, because the ones that I think are going to be rock stars, it crushes me when they're not. It's easy those things personally, because we invest a lot of time into people, and you know, we want to see them succeed. Like I want to see everyone I sign up to be a rock star. I want everybody I sign up to just be like killing it. Not because it's going to make me money, which it will, but that's not why. It's because I want them to see what I've been able to do. I want them to experience this. I want them to see, you know, goals and dreams that you never thought could ever come possible. I want to see them crush it, you know, that's why. And so it crushes you when they don't. It's very disappointing. And if you've put all your eggs in that basket, boy, that can really devastate you when they quit. And I've had it happen. I really have had it happen, and it's devastating. And talk about feeling like quitting yourself. Those are the moments. So don't ever, always believe in people and always put faith in them and always truly believe in them, but always be out there looking for your next rock star, because that's the way it works. Like you can't, I made that mistake early on in my business. I signed a girl up who was a rock star. And in my mind, she's my star woman. She's just going to rock it, right? And it was like, she was Success Club, like 20 points a month, like killing it. Totally killing it. And I want to say she lasted 6 or 7 the month she hit Success Club. Like, why? Why are you quitting? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me at all. It was devastating. I was devastated. So don't do that to yourself. Like, always be adding new people. It really is a numbers game. You never know what things are going to happen in someone's life. You know what I mean? Like, to this day, I don't know why she quit. I tried to talk to her about it, and she told me, well, it wasn't you, but I really don't want to talk about it. So I don't know why she quit. I don't know. But you never know, like, what's going to happen in someone's life. You can't count on just one person. You have to constantly be growing.
Awesome.
Anybody
Good
else?
info.
I tell you what, you guys, talking about quitting and wanting to quit, I've wanted to quit so many times as a coach. I'm just being honest. So many times. And there was like one time I remember I wanted to quit. And the crazy thing about it is every single month that I've been a coach, I've made money. It's not about the money. It's not. What it boils down to is you inside. You can make $1 gazillion and not be happy, right? Money doesn't buy happiness. And money doesn't buy you out of discouragement and disappointment either. But even in the months making money in Healing Success Club, there were months I wanted to quit. And I remember one month was really bad. I wanted to quit so bad. And it was when my dad was sick. There was just a lot of stuff going on in my life. And then Kayla had quit, my rock star. And it was a couple months after she quit, and I was just sitting there, and I remember sitting there and thinking, like, why am I doing this? And I was serious, thinking, why am I doing this? And the only thing that kept me in the ship and not cutting and running was the fact that I had talked the big talk to all my family. And you guys saw my video I did last night about my family. That's why I didn't quit. Like, I have to prove that to them that I can't have anybody looking at me and going, I knew she wouldn't do it. That's what kept me in the game. So if you're like me and you're stubborn and you're a little feisty, tell everybody in the world that you are going to be a rock star coach and you're going to make this happen, because little things like that, putting it out there, kind of like putting out your weight loss goal on Facebook and saying, look, I'm not happy with where I'm at. I'm going to be posted on Facebook for accountability. And now I know I've got a gazillion people watching what I do, right? It's accountability is what it is. And that's what happened. And I remember that day. I was like, I cannot quit. I have my whole family is watching me, and I know they think that I'm never going to make this work. I can't quit. I have to show to myself, right, that I can do this, and I have to show to everybody else too. So put that sucker out there. Tell the world what you're going to do and let that hold you accountable. I'm serious about that too. So if you do a post tonight, tag me in it so I can just be like, yeah. No, I'm serious. Like, that's what kept me, was knowing that people were watching me and knowing that they doubted me. And I kind of doubted myself, but I had just enough belief, like just enough. And then I know you guys are probably got it. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's been like a while. One last thought I want to ask you to think about. What if you took this and you went, pardon my expression, ladies, balls to the walls, and you gave it everything you had, 100%, for a year? What do you think you could really accomplish? This requires being honest with yourself and self-evaluation and looking at what you've done to this point and asking, like, have I really, like, I say I've tried, but have I really? Like, and we all know the truth, right? We know the truth. Be honest. When's the last time that you took on a challenge and you gave it 100%? What were you able to do? What were you able to accomplish? There's something to be said for shooting for the stars and falling on the moon, right? The moon's an amazing place. It might not be the goal you reach for, but it's still amazing. Right now, if I had hit my goals that I made, I'd be like a 10-star, 15-star diamond, and I'm not. But where I'm at is pretty fantastic, right? And I know that the majority of my coaching journey, I haven't given it 100%. So that's on me, right? Own it, own it, own it. Do not allow yourself to accept excuses. Be a big girl. Pull up the big girl panties and own it. Own what you've done, what you haven't done, and think of how, okay, like this year has been great, but I'm not where I want to be. Why? Own it. Okay. And it's not about being a negative person, a negative self-talk or anything like that. That's not the point. The point is that I own where I'm at because it's all on me. And if I own it, then I can examine it and then I can make changes to improve for next year. Right? So shoot for the stars, land on the moon. The moon's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy, right? Yes, it could have been better. This year could have been much better for me. But allowing yourself a little bit of grace is always good too, because this year has been a really hard year for me. Very hard year for me. And accepting that is good. But at the same time, you can't allow things in your life to hold you down, right? The bad times are bad, but they don't last forever. So shoot for the moon or shoot for the stars, land on the moon. And you're gonna, if you do that consistently, you're gonna be in a really great place. That video today, he said something about optimism versus pessimism as far as people go. Pessimistic people are right or more accurate like 75% of the time. So when they say like they're right, right? They're realistic. But realism never built dreams, right? Was Walt Disney realistic? Heck no, he was not realistic at all, right? It's the optimistic people who have a way bigger opinion of themselves than they really are, and who have a way bigger idea of what they can accomplish than is really true. But because they believe in themselves, they go for it. And yeah, they might not hit the stars, but they do land on the moon. Whereas the pessimistic person still on Earth going, well, there's this and this and this reason why I can't do it, and it's not going to happen, so why try, right? And that's what, we were talking about tonight, is taking those positive mindset and really putting it into practice, and it takes focus. And I'm going to stop talking because I've been going for like an hour. But I love you guys so much. I want every one of you to fly past me. All right? That's what I want. I want to be able to be posting on Facebook like, oh my gosh, look at these people. That's what I want. Like, I want to celebrate you guys, and I know I'm going to. I believe it. I visualize that. I speak it into existence. All right? And I want just that promise from you that you're going to do the same thing. Visualize your success. Visualize the success of your team. Visualize what it's going to be like when you reach that top of that thermometer goal. All right? It's going to be fantastic. It's going to feel so good. It's going to be life-changing. All right? Love you guys. I'm going to let you go. Thanks for hopping on with me. Let's kill the end of this month, all right?